Mr. Speaker, I further ask unanimous consent that all members have 5 legislative days to revise and extend their remarks.
Without objection.
Mr. Speaker, late last night, the Rules Committee met and reported a rule, House Resolution 1160, providing for consideration of 4 measures. H.R. 8034, the Israel Security Supplemental Appropriations Act under a closed rule. H.R. 8036, the Indo-Pacific Supplemental Appropriations Act under a structured rule. H.R. 8035, the Ukraine Security Supplemental Appropriations Act of 2024, under a structured rule, and H.R. 8038, the 21st Century Peace Through Strength Act, under a structured rule. The rule further provides that after the House's consideration of these measures, the Senate will be quickly able to put the consideration of the legislation that we passed. Mr. Speaker, today it's important that we support the underlying rule and the underlying legislation. Specifically, a rise in support of our allies after the attack on Israel by Iran 10 days ago. That unprecedented attack has reaffirmed the need for strong American leadership and support for our allies abroad, especially Israel, and now our allies in the Indo-Pacific. I'm well aware there have been concerns in our conference and really on both sides of the House about the southern border and the national debt. As a member from Texas, as a member of the Budget Committee, I fully understand these concerns and I share all of them. But the requirement for America to assert itself as the leader of the free world is not optional. It's not a requirement we can put on pause. Israel has been attacked. China talks menacingly about reunification with Taiwan. Ukraine is in crisis and is in need of our help to survive Russian aggression. Now, I would say to the President, this legislation on the floor today perhaps could have been facilitated by some leadership from the executive branch. But despite the circumstances that brought us here, we stand before the House to support our allies and reaffirm America's leadership on the world stage. H.R. 8034, the Israel Security Supplemental Appropriations Act, will provide much-needed material support to the Jewish state as it faces twin threats from Hamas and the Islamic Republic of Iran. This includes $4 billion to replenish Israel's Iron Dome and over $1 billion for the Iron Beam defense system. H.R. 8036, the Indo-Pacific Security Supplemental Appropriations Act of 2024, will work to counter the Chinese Communist Party and create a strong deterrence in the region, while 8035, the Ukraine Supplemental Appropriations Act, will assist Ukraine as they counter Russian aggression. Of the latter, all financial assistance to Ukraine's government is converted into a loan, ensuring that the Ukrainian government is held accountable to the American people. Mr. Speaker, there is no doubt that our failure in Afghanistan was the spark in the tinderbox that led to the subsequent invasion of Ukraine in 2022. And that conflict had been smoldering for a long time, certainly at least since 2014 in 2 previous administrations. Had the administration in 2014, as well as the current administration, had more foresight to provide aid and arms to Ukraine before February of 2022, there might have been a different set of circumstances that we were contemplating today, and there might have been a more swift resolution to this conflict with the saving of untold lives. Mr. Speaker, I stand with my colleagues requesting more information from the administration. The American people deserve answers about how previous funding has been used. They deserve answers about what are the long-term goals by the administration to resolve this conflict. I welcome more oversight. I welcome additional information from the administration, and will continue to push its accountability. But today we are at an inflection point, And the longer we wait, the more expensive any solution to this conflict will become, both in terms of dollars and lives. Lack of aid now could cost us much more dearly later, and I don't want that to become a reality, and I would hope my colleagues on both sides of the aisle feel the same. I urge passage of the rule. I urge passage of the underlying legislation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I reserve my time.
The gentleman